My Chocolate Kitchen. I'm really excited to share with you today some different techniques and tips and recipes that you can make at home in your own kitchen and enjoy the wonderful food that is chocolate. The recipes we're going to do today are good for any time of the year, but they're also good for Passover, so just something for you to keep in mind. We're going to make today two kinds of chocolate bark. Chocolate bark is basically just a slab of chocolate that can have any kind of additional item on it. Fruits, nuts, candies, anything you want really. So it's a great basic starting point that you can really tailor and customize to your own taste. So the first thing we do with any recipe is something called mise en place, and what that means in French is everything in its place. So we lay out all the tools that we're going to need, all the ingredients that we're going to need for our recipe, and that way we don't have to be running around while we're in the middle of working and finding this or that or measuring out this and that. So let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is melt our chocolate. So I have here these chocolate pieces. They're called chocolate calays. This is just something that we use in a professional chocolate kitchen. But you can use chocolate chips if you have that at home. You can use a chocolate bar that you break up. What we're using here today is dark chocolate, but you can also do this with milk chocolate or white chocolate. So really, again, it's something that's totally flexible and suitable to your taste. Now, chocolate burns very easily, so you want to be very careful when you're melting it and just melt it bit by bit. We're going to do it today in the microwave, but you could also do it over a double boiler, which means you put it in a bowl or a pot and put that on top of another bowl or pot that has water in it that you put on the stove, and the water heats up and then the heat transfers to the bowl underneath, and then you just keep stirring it and it melts. So those are just two different methods, but we're going to do the microwave today, so let's get started. So we're going to start at about 30 seconds at a time. Again, like I said, chocolate can burn easily, and once it's burned, there's no going back. You have to dump it out and start again. You'll see after the first go around in the microwave, it looks like it's not actually even melted, but the truth is that it's warming up the molecules in the chocolate, so the next couple rounds of microwaving are going to get it where it needs to go. So we're going to go for another 30 seconds. And here we go. It's already starting to melt and get a little gooey. Okay, third round in the microwave. Okay, so now our chocolate is beautifully melted, and I'm just going to stir it a little bit. I'm going to come and give you a close-up. Isn't that yummy looking? Look at that. Yum, 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 yum. There's nothing more beautiful, in my opinion, than melted chocolate. Okay, so once our chocolate is melted and you've stirred it out and made sure that there's no little lumps in it or anything, the next thing we're going to do is pour it out on our surface. Now, chocolate bar can just be flat on one side, but you can also use some really fun materials to give it some texture on the outside of the chocolate. I have today here bubble paper that you may have seen before, used for packing things and keeping things secure in shipments, but it's actually a great tool for chocolate as well. Just make sure that you wash it really well and dry it really well before you use it. Water and chocolate do not mix. They are enemies. So if any water gets in the chocolate will seize up, which means it will become kind of thick and lumpy and totally unusable. So just make sure that it's dry. So this bubble sheet is dry and clean. And I'm going to start by pouring some of my chocolate right on top of it. There we go. Now I have here, this is called an offset spatula. It's used in cake decorating and pastry, all kinds of different things. You can use a regular spatula, you can use a knife, whatever you have handy. And we just want to spread it out so that we have an even kind of thickness throughout the piece of chocolate. And like I said, you can do this with milk chocolate or dark chocolate or really whatever you like. But the thing is, the reason you want to spread it out into as even a layer as possible is so that it sets evenly and it all dries at the same time and is ready all at the same time. And then also when you take a bite, or you're getting the same kind of texture experience all the way throughout. So that looks pretty good to me. Okay. Now what I have here to put in the chocolate is I have a variety of fruits and nuts and candy. But really, like I said, you can use anything you want. I have dried cherries, dehydrated strawberries, dried pineapple. I have some marshmallow. I didn't have the mini, so I just cut up some big ones. Pecans, and these are spiced pistachios. So if you like something with a little extra flavor or an extra kick, you can just use, something that already comes candied or spiced. And basically, then all you do is you lay out the things you want to put in. You can make a design, you could just do a pattern, you can make it totally random, you could do smiley faces, whatever you guys like. You could use other candies you could use would be like M&Ms, Reese's Pieces. I've never used jelly beans, but that could be fun. Totally different texture when you bite into it. I'm just going to put everything on here because why not, right? That way you get a little different flavor with every bite. So after we finish putting our toppings on the chocolate, we're going to let the chocolate set for a little while so that it is finished, and then we can remove the plastic backing from it and break it up a little bit. What happens when chocolate is setting, it's actually chemistry. The chocolate has 6 different types of crystals in it, and what happens is that the crystal formations all solidify and connect with each other when the chocolate is setting, and that's what makes it solid at room temperature. All right, so I'm gonna get this guy in the fridge and I will be back in a minute. Hi guys, we are back and we are ready to unmold our chocolate bark from the plastic and see what we got. So just do it carefully. You turn it over, you see the chocolate is kind of like a solid piece. And just peel it back carefully. And it's got this like really cool texture on the back of it now. See that? Okay, by the way, I meant to tell you that if you don't have bubble paper, bubble wrap around, the other thing you could do is take a piece of tin foil, aluminum foil, and just crinkle it up and then pull it out so that it's kind of not totally mushed up into a ball, but it has some of the bends and texture and fold from doing the crinkling process, and then you'll get also a cool texture in that. So another option for you. So basically now we have our chocolate bark. You can keep it like this, put it on the table, everyone can break off a piece, or you can break it up in advance and just do that. Really whatever you guys feel like doing. But it's super fun and it's super easy and it's super yummy, and like I said, you can really make it any way you want with whatever fruits, candies, nuts if there's no allergies that you like, and I hope you guys enjoy it. So in a moment we're going to make our next bark, which is a white chocolate and dark chocolate marbled bark. So we'll be right back with that setup. Welcome back. We are now going to make another kind of chocolate bark, which is a white chocolate and dark chocolate marbled bark. You should still have some dark chocolate left from the previous one we made. If not, you can just always add a little bit more to the bowl and pop in the microwave again and melt it. So no big deal there. The key with this particular type of bark is to have both the white chocolate and the dark chocolate ready to go at the same time. Because if you are first do your dark chocolate and then you have to go melt the white one, the dark chocolate's going to set up and be solid by the time you're back with your white chocolate. So I melted some white chocolate ahead of time right here. This is actually, to be honest, not real chocolate. It is a candy melt or a compound. It's this thing, which you've probably seen in a local supermarket. This one is non-dairy, it's vegan, it's parved. You could absolutely use regular white chocolate as well, and frankly it probably tastes a little better. So what we want to do is we can do this either on a flat surface, just like a flat cookie sheet, or you could do it on a plate. It can be plastic or ceramic or whatever, it doesn't really matter. You just want to make sure that it's totally clean, no smudges or anything left on it. And this one has like a little ridge around, which is nice because it'll hold our finished piece in that shape, in the square shape. But again, you can do it freeform, you can do it in a specific shape. It's totally up to you. So first what we do is we take our dark chocolate, and just like before, we pour a little bit of it on our surface. Okay. And then I'm going to take that offset spatula again, just spread it around so it's kind of evenly distributed. Again, a knife will work, a regular spatula, whatever you guys have handy is going to be totally fine. All right, I think I need a little more chocolate in there, it's a little thin. There we go. Now we're talking, here we go, okay. So have you ever seen a Napoleon, which is a French pastry? It's layers of puff pastry with cream, and then the top of it has this sort of swirl effect. That's what we're going to do right here. All right, so here we've got our chocolate laid out. You can give it a few taps on the table just to even out some air bubbles. Now what I have here is a piping bag, but you could use a Ziploc bag, a plastic bag of any kind. Basically, I'm just going to use a little trick. You put it into a container. You can use a cup also. Just make a sleeve over it. Pour your white chocolate in. Okay. Lift up the sides. Got your piping bag. Again, you can do the exact same thing with the Ziploc. Twist it so nothing's coming out on the end, and then just take a piece of scissors and just cut a little tiny bit off the tip. You don't want to make the hole too big, otherwise you're going to end up with like a splattered mess. So just a little one is good. All right. So now there's a couple different ways you can do this design. So I'm going to show you both of them. So the first one is you just do like little circles. Then you can take either, you can use a toothpick. This is a wood stick used for making candied apples. But basically you just run it through and it makes little hearts. Isn't that pretty? The other way to do it, if you want to do the more Napoleon type design, is just go in a zigzag. Like that, and then you can take your toothpick and you go down, and then you go back up and back down and back up and back down. So again, you've got two different ways of doing these really pretty designs. Now you don't have to add anything else to it. If you don't want to, you can leave it just like this. I'm going to add, I have some little peppermint candies. These are actually candy canes that are just crushed up, and they're here, so why not, right? So you could just sprinkle a little bit. These don't have that really strong red color, but like if you have a candy that has some really nice color to it, it could be a really pretty accent on the design. But totally up to you guys, whatever you feel like doing. Just add some flavor also, not just the color. So whatever works for you. Okay, so that is it. I'm gonna pop this baby in the fridge and we'll be back to unmold it. Okay, so our chocolate has set, and now we're going to unmold it and break it up and enjoy it. So if you're doing it in a plastic pan, like not on a cookie sheet with parchment paper or something, you just want to bend the plastic a little bit like you would an old-fashioned ice cube tray. If I flip it over, you can see on the back, the lighter area is where the chocolate's already released. The darker area is still not totally set, which is fine. You can still, if you peel it from the front and it's not mushy, then you can still unmold it. If I left it a little bit longer, the whole thing would be like the lighter color, but it's no big deal either way. So I'm just going to show you that as I push it down, whoops, a little bit, and release it a little more. I'm breaking the plate, but it's alright, it's just a disposable. So then I can grab it from the front. Okay guys, there it is. There's our bark. See the beautiful designs that we made? With the hearts and the marbling. So I hope you guys had fun, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoy eating it also and sharing it with your friends and your family. And next time we are going to make a treat that you dip in chocolate on a stick. So I hope to see you then. Feel free to email me with any questions, Miriam@cocojolie.com. And also if you want to send me pictures of the bark that you made, I'd love to see them. Thanks so much, you guys. I'll see you next time.